to put you to sleep, bruv. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing
you're
waking
waking
up,
up taking
eating
them.
2 Xanax bars, bruv? Like, and then it's just making me a muggy prick because I'm like, you know, like my dad asked me to do something, I'm like, oh, whatever, like, what, it ain't that deep, dad, you know, like,
Yeah.
just being a complete prick. And the moment you sell one bag of food, cuz, like, you're shotting, cuz,
Yeah.
you know, like that,
Yeah.
it's like, and even now, even since I've been out, you know, like, you'll be at the party, someone needs a gram, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, I can get a free 5 right now.
Yeah.
I've grown a lot, and like that 4 years, I'm pretty sure I was so stubborn and like off my face, like, I'm not sure there would have been a chance for change. You
Yeah.
know, like that,
Yeah.
like maybe like someone picking me up and taking me to a rehab center or something. But it's quite a very small scene when I went in jail. You know, it wasn't
Yeah.
like an Olympic sport at this point. You know, like
It's
it,
an Olympic sport now.
it is now.
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like all the girls are killing it, and that young 13-year-old girl's doing mad stuff.
Alright, Delinquent Nation, Prison Diaries. This is Morph. We've got a special guest in today. He's got a proper interesting story. It's kind of different. We're gonna get into it, and I think this one's proper important as well because you can go to prison coming from all walks of life, if that makes sense. So what's going on, my bro?
What's happening, my brother? Thanks for having me. Man. I watched the thing, and yeah, I'm gassed. I'm gassed still.
Nah,
Thank you for having
come
me.
on, my
Still.
bro. Thank you for coming on, man.
Of course.
Obviously, I love your energy already. Like, you know, we just met.
Of course, man. Yeah.
Serge put me onto you, the guy behind Life Sentence in a Song.
Yep.
The guy that does all the raps on
My guy, yeah, he's a good guy. Shout out him, man. Free him up, bro.
Yeah,
'cause,
free up Serge.
He's a good guy, man.
Good guy. He's doing a life sentence. He should be out.
He
soon.
should be out, yeah, soon. And,
Yeah. And obviously we got speaking, and yeah, I know you've got a proper interesting one. So we're gonna get into it a bit. But like, what I like to do is just get into, you know, your life growing up, like how you grew, what things you was into, and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So if you can start off like the household growing up, how
Yeah.
things was.
Like, for me, real talk, like, there weren't no block. Like, man lived like, in Walthamstow. I mean, you could say it was a bad area or whatever, but, you know, like, man was all right. My mum done well for me. My dad were together. Mum and dad were together. It's all right. She passed away when I was like 12. That's when things got a little bit rocky. Just
Sorry to hear that, bro.
No, it's nothing in it. It was ages ago. But like, yeah, that's where things like kind of not like really took. You know, like obviously when you only got one parent, I guess it's harder to control the kids. Like, but yeah. So, but I got into skateboarding as a youth, and I think that was one thing that kind of for me, kind of like set me on a positive road. You know, like that.
That was your thing.
That was my thing. Yeah.
Sorry to cut. I just want because like you might not think it maybe made much of an impact because it was a long time ago, yeah. But it died. I've lost my parents as well, innit? So I feel like upon reflection, if you really do reflect, yeah,
100%. Yeah, like these are things that I only realised in jail.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah,
that.
because
Like,
you can reflect in
because
jail.
you can reflect, of course. And like, it weren't just no 1 year sentence, or it was like, man was doing 4 years for my first ever bird.
Yeah.
You know, like that. And like, obviously, yeah,
Which is crazy as well. Like, so you got 8-year sentence, innit?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, right, to be real, I got a 10,
Yeah.
and it went down to 6 years, 8 months for the guilty plea, and then, but because of just me just kind of being a dickhead, yeah, I managed to cop myself like 250 extra days, so I managed doing like a 4.
Wow.
That's all another story. That was just me just.
Yeah.
I'll be like, I don't know, like.
We'll get into that because we're gonna get into prison. I want to get.
But
into
yeah,
that,
to backtrack to like, yeah, it was just I got into skating.
Yeah.
That was my thing.
Yeah.
So I weren't really like gang affiliate. Like, I had cousins who done their thing, but me, I was just shotting weed and coke to my skate brethren. That's how it got. You know, that's how like things were, and they were like that for a very long time, and things were blessed.
Yeah.
You know, like that, and then things snowballed. Like only like probably like 6 years ago, they snowballed into a bit of a madness, basically, and it was just into something that I didn't have control over.
Yeah. Before we get into like, you know, you selling drugs and that or whatever, before that, like, how was things? How was you in school? Like, how was it like skateboarding?
I mean, I'll be real. I weren't like a bad you, but I just didn't take school seriously. You know, like, I'm not sure why, because as a man now, like, I love to learn, you know, but I think, you know, I feel like I came from that generation of like, you kind of yeah, you know, you call someone a boffin or like, you know, like you get onto guys for being smart.
Yeah.
Whereas now I feel like the youth are kind of a bit more switched on.
Yeah.
Maybe in the sense that like they know if they learn or like knowledge is power, innit? Like I feel like, or I'd like to feel some youths know this now. Whereas I feel like when I was a youth, it was just like we'd all group together to laugh at the geezer who's smart, you know, like that, which just seems crazy. But you know, like this is what went down, innit? Like, so I didn't really do well in school. I was more into like, I'll be honest, like skating was my thing. Obviously, when I was a youth, I played football, but skating was my thing. Like,
What was it about skating? Did you?
it was the independence of it, you know. Like, man could like, I've done the football thing where like they wanted me to like play for Chelsea youth and blah blah, and I'm like, oh, but it means you have to go training, you have to do this, yeah. And then you're like, but with skating, it was just freedom, and I skate down the street. Jump up a curb, try tricks that I want to try. There's no geezer saying, right, you got to do this and do that.
Yeah.
So it kind of just resonated with me a little bit.
Did you used to play the game in that?
Yeah, I'll be honest, that's what got me into it.
That's what I was going to say,
The Tony Hawk game, but when I played the game, I'm like, right, if I could act. I remember playing football outside and one guy skated past, like, I know the guy who he's now, but at the time I didn't know him. The guy jumped up the curb and just kept it moving.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, no.
Yeah, this is
man want to do that. Because like, man rode bikes and all of them things. Man couldn't jump on a bike. You know, like, man's all banging the back wheel on the curb and that. You know, I don't know how to jump on nothing. But I see this guy do it on a skateboard and I was like, nah, I want to learn that. And I don't even think for like a couple of years I even really got into it until one of the youths who had a skateboard and they were building a park near my house, and that's when man got into it. You know, like go into a shop and buy a board, like you know, like them ones. And but yeah, that was me for a little while, man. It was good. It was good, man.
That's good. Like what I want to get into next is, and I think it's proper important as well, because I think a lot of people have a misconception about, you know, you have to be living a certain life to go to prison, and you might have to be, you know, into gangs and
or maybe had it hard.
No.
Like, to be real, like I ain't gonna sit here and tell you I had it hard, because, I mean, my mum made sure everything was all right for me, even after she went. You know, like that. So, like, yeah, I mean, bro, listen, like, I was just selling drugs to my friends because I wanted them to get them from me and not someone else. And to be real, the worst thing is that part of it wasn't even the part that got me nicked or anything, you know, like that. So like that could have still been carried. I could have still been doing that with not really much fear of like the law, or, you know, like, and still kind of not think of myself as a drug dealer and that.
But that's important that you said that, because that was your introduction into it, and then, you know, as a lot of people think, you know, I get into it, I'll do just these little bits, I'll sell to my friends or whatever.
Of course you do.
And they'll think like nothing, you know, but then it would turn.
They don't even think they're a shotter.
You
know, I'm a provider. Or whatever it is they want to, however they want to like normalize it for themselves or whatever, you know. But like the moment you sell one bag of food, cuz, like you're shotting, cuz. You know, like that. It's like, and even now, even since I've been out, you know, like you'll be at the party, someone needs a gram. I'm thinking I can get a 3-5 right now, make it happen for myself, but I just don't, because I know what it leads to. But you know, like it's I could, and I'm not even from that. Like, so if you've like, I've never seen, like, I didn't get introduced to drugs. Like, I didn't see people smoke weed or nothing when I was a youth. Like, probably the first time I actually realized that someone was smoking something different was probably like 14. So like, you know, like I didn't even. So if I could get into that lifestyle and not even like have grown up with it, and it still be appealing, like, raw, like I understand why it's so easy for the man to get involved, because and it's not even about the money this and money that, it's just the fact that it's like sometimes you just want to feel like stupid enough, you want to do a good thing, you want your friends to get the best, or you know, like stupid enough, I'm not even sitting there counting my P's, I'm just like making sure my brethren got a gram of the good but really
so was you like quite connected with before, like, so did you have like maybe friends or family that was
I mean, so like my cousin, he used to like just shot big amounts of weight, innit, just big bits, like, so I always had to connect there, like if I needed to get like I'd never take anything that, like, it never got to that before when I was just shotting to my friends and that, but so yeah, he was the connect really for everything, and because he just could get weed, he could get anything I wanted, you know, like, so it just gave me that to kind of, what's the word? It kind of gave me like a foot above the rest, you know, like, because I could get it quick. Like my cousin lived around the corner, and like even if I just grabbed that 8 for white or whatever like man could flip that, like, you know, like, and just certain people might have known a guy, but people just trust it because it was my cousin, you know, like, or whatever. So, you know, like, I mean, I could have lied and told him it was banging food or whatever, but, you know, like, it was a good thing to have, and he was the person who introduced me to that lifestyle as such. But even then when I was doing it, I didn't feel like I was a part of that because I was in a different crowd, you know, like a bunch of skaters, graffiti writers, BMXers, like, all these guys were buying it from me. It weren't like I was really having to even run around to link a brother I don't know. You know, like, so it just, for years, I just shot and didn't really
need to.
Like, it could have been Class A. It didn't matter about what. It was just, I can get it, and
you just did it.
You know, like, I knew I could make a little something off the side. That was obviously that's the motivation in it. But yeah, that wasn't like the goal. You know, I wasn't dripping myself out in like fucking.
Was you buying like new trucks?
Literally,
like
well, like, swear down,
wheels.
and you know, like wheels and dumps, like, because you know, like, skating's one of them things that's like, back in the day, you couldn't just like skateboards ain't changed price from like 1980. It's still £50. You know, like, so it's like if you're getting good and going through boards and that, like, you could be spending 50 quid a week, which is quite a lot for a you who got nothing. You know, like that. So, you know, that's why I've always kind of like, with the younger youths who I can see are like got potential, and I always hook them up, like, if old, because you know, like, whether it be an old board or to them that's a brand new board. You know, my man skated it until he don't want it no more, but to them that's like, because you know, like, sometimes this has saved me even though I went jail. You know, that, so well, if it can do something for someone else, like, that's all I can really ask for. You know, like that, really, like, just. Maybe people won't make the same mistakes that I done.
That you did,
just from hearing the story or whatever, you know.
Yeah. That's why I thought it was really important to get you on as well.
I'd like that. That's the main thing, you know. Like, this ain't really about me. This is about like what is going on these days, cause you know, like, cause just with everything, like, you know, like, just people just like, you know, are introduced to these things way earlier on than I ever was. You know, like, so if you're normalized with this stuff at an age of 5 and 6, 7, 8, and you already know that if you're shot in that you can make some peas and like, hopefully man are grown out of that by the time they hit 20, but I learned all that stuff around like 16 going up to my 30s and didn't think it was bad, you know, like, so you know, I ain't trying to tell anyone what to do or preach or nothing, but you know, if you can maybe look at other people's stories and actually hear it.
That is kind of why I do what I do as well, like, because I'm not a preacher either. I'm not.
I can't tell no one. We can't tell no one to do.
You can't tell someone how to make money unless you're giving them money, unless you're feeding them. You can't tell someone how to.
And because you know what is that there were points in my life, like, where you can't. What? You can't tell me what to do. You're mad. Like, what, I do my, allow it. Don't. Why are you watching me? Like that. So it's like, I fully get it. And like, but there will come a point in your life, I believe, when you sit down and realize, like, rah, this thing ain't really what I thought it was. You know, like that. But I mean,
I think everyone, a lot of people, when you come to our age, come to that conclusion. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
A lot of people, because, you know, even if you are still on the road, you're looked down on.
Of course, like, we're still doing on the roads at 35, because like that's mad. So yeah, no, 100%. And like, I just hope that people can like see, for instance, like, even just coming here now, we've got all the cameras and like, you know, like, there might be one you out there who likes filming but don't really know how to get into it, or you don't have money for a camera. Like, I never had money for a camera. I was stealing my dad's little handy cam to film my brethren do the skateboard tricks. You know, like that. And it only cause my dad, luckily enough, saw the potential in it. He bought me a camera. Do you know what I'm saying? But I was lucky enough to have that opportunity, whereas some people don't. But just, you know, that you can pursue something with not all the right gear. You know, just need to have an interest in it and pursue it, bro. You know, like that. Like, and I don't know. I just hope that people can find that one thing that they might like or have an interest in and pursue it, because this other life is just a bit mad. Like, you know, like, we all know it's mad, but like, really, like, cause everyone in jail is screaming like, fuck the man them, because they might be in a 22 stretch and 3 years in, and no one's chatting to them. Like, I'm not saying that everyone's like that, because obviously people have their real man or whatever, but 90% of people, I didn't meet one person in there who like dated someone off or whatever, and they sitting there happy about it. I didn't see it. Like, I'd be lying if I said that there were guys in there like, yeah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Like, no, these are all people who are like trying to set their life straight and, you know, move on past that, because up here is hard for them, you know, like, and that's the reality of it. Like, I mean, you might think you're young and I don't care, rare, but like, you know, 10 years into your sentence, when you're sitting there trying to go sleep and you can't because it's too deep, like,
Yeah.
you'll think about it, innit?
You
And I
think
didn't
about
even go through that, so I can't even like say to no one. But obviously, man, been around them people, and I know they go through it, bro.
Yeah, of course.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I just can't stress it enough.
Yeah.
You know, like that. I mean, but like I said, we're not here to preach. Just
Yeah.
do what you got to do. But
No,
I
that's
just know.
like after like exactly. That's why we like. I like to get stories from different people.
100%.
You know, and then so someone might be watching it out there. That's like, right, yeah, I was like that, and you know, maybe like someone might be doing the same. Like someone might be skating and
This is it,
shotting
bro.
as well.
This
and
is
you
it.
know
I
what I'm
might
saying?
think,
It
wow,
might
you know
reach-
what? I didn't. You know, there's money in skating now, boys.
Yeah.
You know, like there's
Yeah.
money. Like man's getting paid now. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
bro, I weren't getting paid like
Yeah.
before. That's why I was shotting, because
Yeah.
I wanted to stay involved. Like I was working a job. I used to work in a nursery with kids at like from like 16 to 21. Like, you know, like after school club things.
Yeah.
Used to work like that, and it was sick because I got bare youths into skating and that. But the problem was that a company would hit me up on a random and be like, yeah, we want you to go here on this, and I'm like, oh, can I get the time off? They're like, no. So
Yeah.
man, I had to do something to like not have to work a real job, you know, like, so
Yeah.
I had to pursue it like that, and it was just like, I mean, it was a necessity, but I just feel like, you know, like just at the end goal was always the same. It's just man veered off onto some next, and it's so easy to veer off onto
Yeah.
other track, like, you know, like I said, like at the start of Palace, like they were offering me a certain amount of money that I was just laughing at. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
make
you were
so
telling me about
much
that.
dough, like
Yeah.
from selling. Why would like, and it weren't because I didn't want to work for them, because they're my guys, you know,
Yeah.
like that. But it was just like I kind of just have to sit here and answer the phone all day and just trap. Whereas I don't have, like, if I work for you, I have to do stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
it just kind of like, and it wasn't that I didn't want to, but it was just like this was a lot easier.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like that.
And I think that's what a lot of kids, that's how a lot of kids make the mistake. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be independent, but it's like it's just where you put that energy, I guess.
Of course, because you know what it is, like, yeah, that, like, it's all well and good, like, you're not wanting to work for the man or blah blah. Like, I get all that, like, you know, like, you want to make your money, like, but it's just, I don't know, like, you need to pursue something positive, because all of that negative energy just, I feel like it catches up with you,
Where-
whether it be shotting, whether it be like,
Karma.
you know, like, yeah, it's just, it catches up with you, bro. And like, I don't know someone who done this shotting thing or this road thing and like they ain't been or they ain't had someone who, you know, like, this just brings you more struggles, bro. If you come from struggle and then you hit this road thing and this shotting thing and like you're gonna just end up with more struggles, more
struggle,
brethrens dead, you know, like,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm going on about it a bit too much, but you know, like, I just can't stress that people, like, if there's something that you pursue as a youth or even later on in life, like, please just try and pursue it, because,
Yeah.
bro, like,
Because eventually you end up.
yeah, I mean, even if you don't go jail or the story doesn't work out exactly how I said it, I'm just saying this lifestyle, like, I've seen a lot of people come out of it, and I just wish that everyone could.
Could yeah.
You know, like that, because the opportunities are there, and you know, like, not being given to you, but the opportunities are there to make it for yourself nowadays. You know, like,
yeah.
I feel
Especially
like
with the social media.
with the social media and everything, like, you like even just an idea, you know, like, you can run with and turn it into something. You know, like, I've been trying to film the skateboarding for fucking years and never got paid from it, but finally, fucking hell, big up Palace.
Big
They're
up Palace.
fucking finally, like, are a brand that people kind of know and recognise, and they got the amount of money to pay man a wage every month to film.
Yeah.
So it's finally paid off. So
Shout
shout out Palace and Gareth and Lev and that. But, you know, like, I'm just one of the lucky ones. So, but this ain't a story that can't happen for everyone. You know, like, it's the same amount. I put the same amount of determination and effort into my shotting, like, as if I was when I was bricking up kilos of this and that. Like, man was putting in the same work. You know, like that. Except that led me to jail, and this led me to, like, feeling a whole lot better. So
Yeah, no, you look better. Do you know
I
what I'm
feel a lot better because it was
saying?
mad.
You're happy. What I want to do is I want to get into how you, like, as a skateboarder, ended up getting, like, you know, what would have been a 10, you know? How did that happen, bro? Because, like, just before I get into that, for your first sentence getting a sentence that big, you had to have been doing big things. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just skateboarder kid.
It don't
Yeah,
matter.
it
Yeah,
doesn't really
add
add up, but I would love to hear the story.
Okay,
And
so
you're verified as well. Like there's people that's verified you.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so as I said, I was shotting through to friends, celebrity, whatever, like bare people, and there was never a problem in that.
Yeah.
Suddenly, around 2016, my cousin went jail.
Yeah. Oh, the plug.
The plug.
Okay. Yeah.
My cousin comes from a background where he can't just ask his brethren to like take hold of like 10 boxes or whatever it is that's coming into the country.
Yeah.
Because he's going to come out in 5 years' time and that link's not going to be there and that brethren's going to say, shame.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's
So,
gone, yeah.
sorry, bro. So he felt like only family, I guess, could help.
Yeah.
That's where I stepped in. And because I'd kind of done this stuff before, when it comes to drugs, like even if I haven't done it, I've sat there on the computer and researched. Like, like there ain't much I don't know about drugs.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just so I'm unique like that.
Yeah.
Like it's even if I've taken them or not taken them, I want to know how, where it came from, how you extract it, and
Yeah.
And so anyway, when he's asking me to like put a hydraulic press in my house and start bricking up the powdered heroin that he's got coming over from wherever, it was naturally that I was involved.
Yeah.
Like that. So it went from kind of like just, like some bullshit just shot into my mates kind of thing to like some full-scale operation. Because he'd went jail, I was now chatting to his people who were like bringing it over or whatever, and they basically presumed that I was just taking over the operation. And like after, I
just want to say, like, because you was just doing little bits before, you're talking like 10 bricks of like B, and that could all be 200 quid, 200 grand. Do you know what I mean, or whatever, it might be cheaper.
To be honest, it wasn't even my fault. I just picked it up and done
and
whatever.
just did it. But it's like, how did you feel with that much? Because obviously they would have dropped it on you. How did you feel with that much responsibility, bro?
Right, can I be 100% real?
Yeah.
I didn't deal with it well. Like that. Like I went from shotting like little bits to literally having bits in my house that was like I know if I get caught with like an 8 for yay and so like I'm looking at a few years or so. See what I had at this at some points there were points where like I would go and collect 50 bits and that was just kind of
like 50 boxes.
Yeah, and that was like and then I'd go home, number them all, take a picture of each one, correlate the number to it, it was a full on operation. Man was head of distribution, and it was a mad thing. So I forgot the question. What did you say? How did I get into it?
No, I was saying like, how did you deal with?
Oh yeah, right, yeah, not well. So
yeah.
And at that point, I'm going to be so real. I wasn't really going to talk about this, but I got into. At the time, I'd been to LA and I was around a lot of people who used to fuck with Xanax. Xanax?
Oh yeah, Xanax. Yeah.
Yeah, these things are called anti-anxieties for a fucking reason. Yeah, because man would pop a couple of them, man wouldn't worry no more.
Yeah.
Like that. So I got heavily involved with pressing them, making them, getting the powder. Just because I was like, I'm not gonna just buy them. I was already pressing ecstasy and everything else. I'm gonna source the powder and press them myself. And because I just had fucking a gram of that powder makes 500 tablets. Which is 4 doses on a tablet. So it's like a gram of powder makes 2,000 doses of Xanax. You only have to, and you're fucking not anxious anymore.
Yeah.
So I heavily abused fucking Xanax. And at the time people didn't really.
I was gonna say because I only heard about I've done a 10 or whatever. I only heard about Xanax while I was in jail. I didn't really know about Xanax and lean and all these things. Yeah, but it seems like.
I mean, it was something that was kind of I feel like for a lot of the time, I was always a little bit ahead of the trend, just in the sense where it was kind of my downfall in the sense because I started this vape brand which was for weed oil,
yeah,
piff sticks.
Yeah.
And it was like, people were like, what's weed oil? You know, like, and I'm like, oh, it's like, you know, like the THC, that's like, and people are looking at me like, no, that's a bit too cracky for it. It looks a bit mad, you know, like they're just like, it's not a spliff, is it? Like, so people were just a bit weird. And obviously, where I'd been in LA and I got mates who were on this fucking wavy rap thing, they'd be doing the Xanax and the Oxys, and I had some geezer called come over. I can't remember. I think he was like nephew with his son or something. Like some guy. Anyway, and he come to the house and they were like, I shouldn't really be calling them out like that, but these guys, they come to the house and they were doing the Oxys and this and that, and yeah, and it was just kind. Yeah, I just got because it was the new wave, and like everyone who thought like, you know, like, if you had Xanax and people were like, oh fuck, what you know, like you know, like bro, like you're ahead of the trend. You know, like, man was making lean, like getting my fucking dad to go and buy codeine Linctus from like the chemists and that, and then you know, like mixing it up and being like that guy in like 2010 selling lean, like but like I don't know, man, it was just stupid. But yeah, man just heavily abused all of them drugs, you know, like just to
deal with it.
Just I'll be honest, and at first I didn't even know what, like obviously I knew, but I'd used them drugs. But then when it came to the worry and like actually having like 10 guns and fucking 50 boxes in your dad's garage or whatever, it's like, oh, I see how these things help. You know, like I haven't abused these before, but I can see that if I'm feeling like this every day, I'm going to need them every day. You know, like that. Yeah. So, yeah, like man just, when it comes to opiates and Xanax, man just fucking smashed the life out of them and just tried not to worry about it. And they worked. Yeah. They worked. But, you know, short-term solutions to long-term problems, and abusing drugs or abusing anything to forget about your problems is not a way to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Course, so, like, that's just...
So, like... so you're getting all of this work, and then you've got all these things around you, you know, you're dealing with large amounts of cash and everything like that. Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, explain how it led up, like, to the arrest.
I don't know, but when I think back to it, like obviously someone must have snitched on me or something. I don't even really know that. I just know they raided my house on August 2nd, fucking 2000 and... I don't even know. 2000 and something, 19, I think, 18. Anyway, and
what was it recent?
What, when I got caught?
Yeah.
It was... Well, I've been out 6 months and I've done 4. So it was like 2000 and... Oh no, it would have been like 16 or something. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So it would have been like 2016, maybe April. I don't know. Yeah, but I literally came out like March 20 something. It was like 2 days before my 4 years. Yeah. You know that? But yeah. I forgot what you asked me again. I do that. I just start talking shit and then I fucking forget.
Nah, it's cool, bro. I just want to know, like, how it led up to your arrest.
Oh yeah. So obviously, like, basically, like looking back on it now, it came at the best time. Yeah. Because I was like fully like at that point where the Xanax and the opiates were starting to take us, not to the point where it was like, you know, you take one look at me and I'll just be like, and then them Xanax things, they're like anti-anxiety. So you look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, yeah, man, I'm looking all bossy and that. And really, you're like, off your nut. Like, and people are like, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, of course I'm all right. Yeah. You're like, nah, mate, you look fucked, fam. But because they're anti-anxiety, you're just, everything's cool. Like, there's no problems. Like, so, like, I'd be doing dumb things, like, I had kilos of shit in the house and I'd be licking, like, 10 ecstasy to someone on the corner just because I thought, even though I know, like, if I get caught doing that, they're going to, like, the whole operation's going to come crashing down. But, and I think the people I was working with and for, they fully saw that. So, like,
maybe you wasn't ready for that much that quickly. I don't know.
No, 100% I weren't ready because I never aspired to that. I never aspired to be a fucking kingpin or a guy with all this food like that. See, all that just looks like jail time. That don't even look fun. You know, like you see like a box of weed and you're like, there's a box of weed, like, man. But you see 15 boxes and you're just like, what the fuck, bruv? Like, genuinely, like it feels like a presence. You know, like that, like, brother, like, You stay in that room, bro, and I'll pretend you're not here. Like, you know, like somebody you got staying on your sofa you don't want there. Like, that's literally what that horrible feeling. Like, but yeah, it's.
So what happened then? One day Feds just licked off your door.
One day I went and picked up a Kia White, walked home, put that Kia White on my bed, got a call. They asked me what the stamp said on it. I told them what the stamp said on it. The next thing I knew, I had a brethren who was coming round to Blazer Zoo. Shout out, because he ended up in the mount. 2 years later, I just see him on the wing, like, rah! Like, he brethren with cliche and that, so it was all mad, like, nache. But, so he was coming round to Blazer Zoo. So I left the door open. And I've just heard, like, you know where I've heard someone try and kick the door, or like the door's been kicked now, but the door's open on the latch, so it's just gone, boom!
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Walk downstairs, and there's like, and this is what's weird, because there weren't like, you know when I'm watching on the telly, yeah? They be going for like, you know, like all riot gear and all of this stuff, yeah, for guys who like suspected to have like 2 plants in his house or something.
Yeah.
These guys come running in like, all suited and booted and, you know, like undercover looking and like this couple women and that. I was like, they're like, are you Dane Crook, yeah? I'm like, yeah. They're like, yeah, we need to search the yard, show me some warrant. Before you know it, I'm in the front and cuffed, like, just white as a sheep, like, right, is this really going on? And then before I knew it, I've just heard, runner! And they all just start running out the house. And I'm like, the fuck? And then I find out it's because my boy walked in the house and gone, yo, is Dane there? Yeah. And they go, nah. They were like, yeah, come in. He's clocked what's going on and he's just ran, yeah? They've chased him and tried to do him for all the food they found at my house. Like, you know, like concerned in supply of whatever. I said, no, my man was just coming to Blazer Zoo, man. You can't put, like, you don't even know about the food. You know, like that, like, no one knew about this, what was going on. Like, I wasn't trying to tell everyone, man, got boxes in the yard. But yeah, so, like, he's looking at me like, 50 what? Like, 15 what? Like, what? Like, no.
Yeah, what? That's what did you actually get caught with?
Oh, they opened up the gap. Well, they found a kilo that was on my bed of coke. They found 14 keys of budge in the garage. They found like 250 rounds of ammunition.
250 rounds of ammunition?
2 pill presses, a hydraulic press. Fuck, I don't know. So loads of Xanax, loads of weed, just all of the loads of ecstasy, just loads of shit. And
what was all of this stuff doing in your house?
Oh, just because I was moving loose. Like, I'm not even going to try and tell anyone, like, no, it was like, I'm usually good, but this day, no. The man was just moving mad loose. Like the Xanax just had me, like, moving like I didn't need to put that away. Why would I? Like, you know, like, the only thing that was put away was, like, in the garage. Because I just felt like, because it weren't connected to the house.
Yeah.
But as soon as they raided my yard, they were like, where are the keys for the garage? And I'm like... What garage? They're like, oh, don't talk shit. I just took all the keys off like the key rack and just walked around the garage. I was like, you know when you like, before you've been nicked and that, you think, they might not know that it's in there. But they are finding it. But I don't get it twisted. Like if they think like... Brother,
you just hope for the best.
Yeah, you think, maybe they won't find the key. But they'll kick it down. You know, like, brother, like, no. Like, that was not a safe spot. You know, like that. Like, I'm walking from my house to the garage on a daily. Yeah. You know, like, it was not that. You know, like, but like I said, the Xanax had me moving loose, and like I can't even try and lie and say like, oh yeah, no. I was just, I just had all of this stuff in the house, and then they've opened the garage and found the presses. The only funny thing was that when my ran away. They ran after him, and someone come and stole the pill press.
No way.
Yeah, which was kind of mad because we had 2 of them. They stole the only working one, and it was the only one that we'd all like. You know, like the first couple of weeks we were all gloving up, and then you know, like after you've been there 3 hours pressing 4,000 ecstasy, you know, you might get a chip in your glove, and you know, then people are like, fuck it. You know, we'd all just handled the fuck out of it. And that was the one that got picked. Like someone just walked past and went, hey, sweet, just nicked it. Even on my paperwork it says pill press. Stolen. Like,
nah.
What? Like, what? Who saw that and was like, yeah, I see an opportunity here. Got myself a pill press, innit? And then I started hearing that people had pills that had the same stamp that I used to use. Probably a coincidence, but if you took my pill press and you're making money off my pills, pick up your thing. You know, like, because they done that. Like, I wouldn't have clocked a pill press. Like, you know, like, just on the road. Plus, if there was like a police car or things going on, trying to walk off with a pill press.
Yeah,
But this guy
he
did.
was an opportunist.
He was an opportunist, and he fucking done a good job, man. Big up your thing, like Beats by Dre pills.
Yeah, cold. So how did you feel in that moment, like when you actually got arrested? Because I think you must. I don't know. I'm just assuming that you must have probably thought that you was a bit inconspicuous, skater boy. Do you know what I'm saying? You're not the one that they'll be looking at.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like when it actually happened, it must have caught you by surprise a bit.
100%. Like the thing is now, obviously, when I think about it, it's ridiculous. Like, I was grabbing 50 bits at a time. Like, there's only so many people bringing in 50 bits. So if they're looking at anyone, it's probably you of one of 5 people. So really, like, of course they would find out who I am. But obviously, like you said, like, I'm on the Xanax, I'm skating around. No one's even really looking at me. Like, I could literally stand on the corner of a road with a box, 2 boxes, with the guy ringing me up saying, yeah, he's going to be there in 5 minutes. And I've just got to stand there. But because I had the skateboard, like, man, them are walking past me and, like, they're just... I'm not a guy on the corner anymore. Yeah. I'm, like, a guy with a skateboard, which completely just... Flipped it. Like, I weren't even necessarily talking about feds or anything, because I'm sure they wouldn't see the skate. But I'm thinking, like, man, them and that, they'd be, like, not even glancing at me. Like, whereas if I was just there with a backpack, just...
Yeah.
Waiting for a brother, like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Like, like, what? But, like, with the skateboard, man, I'll just stand there but trying to do tricks and that, and people don't know that that's weird.
Yeah,
Like I know that if a skater's standing on the street corner doing, what the fuck is this guy just doing?
Tricks,
but like most people don't know how I roll as a skateboarder. So like for me to sit there doing tricks, that's not. I mean, it's just as weird as me going out and filming some brother do a skate trick, to someone else. So I just felt invisible.
Yeah.
But obviously.
I would have never
It's funny because even when I was in jail, someone was like, "Yeah, don't you remember me?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro, why?" And he's like, "Bro, you used to live in like Ilford, innit?" I'm like, "Yeah, how do you know that?" He's like, "Bro, you used to bring me like 2 boxes every couple of weeks, bro. Like we'd drive to the thing." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Bro, you know how I know? You used to come down on your skateboard, skid up next to the car, jump in and do your thing and skate off." And I was like, yeah, I was definitely the only person in Ilford trying.
He was the only person in London or probably England doing that.
Boxes, yeah. Maybe with like bags of weed, like it's happening all over the place. But yeah, boxes and that, it was just mad. I was like, oh shit, like. But where I was like just so far gone on like the Zannies and like I'm working for a guy. I'm not even trying to look you in the face. Like, well, take your shit and like, I'm gone in it. Like I'm not trying for you to say, oh, that guy took up. That he was looking at me a bit funny, or like, and then something happens, and then suddenly I'm in the frame for it. No, take your shit, cuz. I wasn't even remembering people, but he was like, "But literally, we used to come down to Good Maze. Do you not remember me?" I'm like, I remember, yeah, like the time, but like as far as your face and that, like, he could have been one of 10 people I was giving 2 boxes to or whatever, But yeah, like large up him though, he knows who I'm talking about. But it's just funny, innit? Because like everyone on the seat now is then like, what, crooks? What, he used to sell you food? He's like, what, you don't know about crooks? And I'm like, oh, allow it, man. I'm not that guy. Like, I ain't getting my paperwork out and showing people exactly what I got caught with. Like, you can talk to me and ask me, yeah, and you'll probably be surprised. But I ain't trying to sit at a table be like, yeah, 15 boxes, this one, a white cut. That weren't me, bro. Like, you come in my cell and there's skateboarding on the wall. Yeah. To the point where people were like, you're a plug, bro, but you always do is talk about the skateboarding. I'm like, that's because that's me.
Yeah, that's really...
Like, that's really me. Yeah. And people can vouch for me in that. People be like, yeah, Morphy does the filming. Yeah. Like, I don't want anyone saying Morphy does the heroin.
Yeah,
that's not...
It's two, like, polar opposites, like...
It's crazy, innit?
It's absolutely nuts. I was going to say, so you've been arrested now, gone police station. Was it the first time you've been arrested?
No, a couple of months previous, I'd been arrested for GBH because I just had some dumb thing with these 2 Polish guys outside a shop.
Hit him with a skateboard?
Yeah, I did actually.
I knew it.
I licked it. It was quite funny actually because these 2 guys were just hench, and like, I can't remember what happened. I think they were like trying to pay for beer, but they were just stumbling about being long, and all I needed was like some chewing gum. I just slapped a pound on the thing and walked out, and then he said something. I was just like, whatever. And then I'm waiting at the bus stop outside the shop. And they come out and started talking shit. And I just don't do this talking thing. Like, like, it's just like, shut up, bang. Yeah. And then Next thing I know, the geezer's like fitting on the floor, and the guy's brother's going, "Look what you've done to my friend." And I'm like, "No, you man were just giving it. Like, no. Like, I don't know. What the fuck?" Anyway, I skated off because I was actually on my way to link some girl to give her some coke or whatever. Anyway, I rung her up and said, "What are you doing right now?" She said, "I'm going home." I said, "I'm rolling." I said, "How are you getting home?" She's like, "I'm in a cab actually." I said, "Cool." She picked me up. We've gone past the bit where it all happened, and they're like taping it off and that, and I'm like, "Oh my God." Before I know it, my dad's ringing me saying, "Yeah, we've just had the police at the door. They want to know why I'm going with what happened." I'm like, "Oh." I said, "You know what? I'm going to just come back and tell," you know, because I don't even know what's happened by now. I know, all I see was this guy fitting out on the floor and his friends saying, like, "Look what you done to him, man." I'm like, "Oh my God." But anyway, it turned out that he didn't even make a statement. He walked off, and apparently his words were, "Look, where's the beer?"
Yeah.
so I've gone in there, told them, the police, like, such an idiot, like, you know, like, told them, "Yeah, I ate some geese with my skateboard, rare, like."
Yeah.
And then my lawyer's like, "Why did you tell them that?" I'm like, "I don't know. They asked me what happened." I'm just like, I'm not snitching on anyone else. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah. And then obviously because he didn't make a statement, it was all dropped and that. But yeah, I hadn't. That was my first
encounter.
Yeah, but even then, I didn't even realise the gravity of the situation. Then, like, if I was to have gone to try, or you know, like, if fuck man, like that's looking at like maybe a between an 8 to a 12, like, and like I didn't even at that point, like,
you didn't realise.
I didn't realise, because you know, it's like, it was self-defense or whatever, but it's like, I even said this to the Fed man. I was like, "Brother, the guys come at me, I just defend them." They're like, "That ain't for us to decide."
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, man, I thought I knew shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, shit, I thought I knew stuff.
Nah,
you know, like,
you do learn practically.
yeah, like,
saying,
but this ain't got nothing to do. The moment I told them, "Yeah, I hit my skateboard," that, if I just said, "What are you talking about?" Like, they would have had to be like, "Oh, well, no one's made a statement." Like, but I didn't. It weren't like, I didn't know the guy had not made a statement. You know, like, I just presumed he was like in the back of an ambulance saying, "Yeah, the geezer with brown hair." You know, I just presumed that was what happened. But no, it was all right. Like that.
Yeah. So bam. So you've been.
Yeah, that was my only real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a serious one now. Yeah. Been arrested. Obviously, what did they remind you or did they bail you?
No, remand straight away.
Remind straight away. So
I think that was the weirdest thing, because you hear about stories and you just presume that you just got a little bit of time to get your shit together.
Yeah.
But no, you don't. Like, you know, when remand, you don't get to get like, you know, like, you're there.
Yeah. From the station, you're straight there. Yeah.
Yeah, I like stayed over the weekend or whatever, and then went to jail on the Monday. Well, went court and then jail and then.
So how did you feel about that? Because this is like, I always ask, like, how was your first night in prison? Like,
I'll be so real with you, yeah.
Quickly, yeah, I was for you. I'm just assuming. You must have thought, probably from movies. You must have thought like,
of course.
You know what I'm saying, and or maybe you don't really fit the bill for this.
Exactly.
And people might think they can take it. You know what I'm saying?
All of them things are exactly that. You know, like, my cousin was in Pentonville. That was the only lucky thing that kind of, not really lucky, but it was like, so.
So you went Pentonville?
Yeah, I went Pentonville first off from court. And I'll be honest, when I first got nicked, after I'm sitting in the cell, it genuinely was, for me, like, kind of like a big sigh of relief. Because I'd been on so long. Like, you know, like, there wasn't a time where these men couldn't ring my phone and say, "Right, get the ting ready," or get some, you know, there's 2 box shop need to go to Heathrow, or, you know, like, "Oh, you're going Cornwall today." But it was just, like.
A lot of people say that, like, when they finally get arrested, it is a bit of a relief.
It was a sigh of relief.
Even myself, I felt relief because, like, when I caught this 10, like, I was super busy, like, you know.
This is it.
Yeah, I was like super busy, and then when I eventually got nicked, they had nicked me for like just a couple minor things, yeah. But then when I sat in the cell, yeah, boiled the kettle, made a cup of tea, I just relaxed, and I was like, because you know it's happening.
This is it.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
In your belly, like, it's gonna happen, and you're just like, when is it gonna happen?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was for me. It was like, I was at that point where I was doing so much drugs and so much, like, but doing so much as well. You know, like, being relied on for, like, mad stuff. Like, you know, like, when someone says go get 50 bucks, like, you're going to get them, and there's no, like, you're there at 2 if they ask you to be there at 2. You know, there's no fucking around when it comes to that weight. You know, so it's like, genuinely, I sat in my cell, and it was like I was just with some brother who was from Clapton, who was like moved, like, or who was like lived where I used to live, and it was just, you know, like, it was quite easy to, not easy, but it was quite nice to, like, just sit down, relax. Even though you're sitting there, 100 things are going on in your mind because I'm being reminded. I don't know how long I'm going to get. I've just found 15 boxes. Like, shit. But really and truly, it was like, just to just switch off for a hot minute was like...
It was good.
It was good.
But at the same time, first night spending in Pentonville must have been horrible because I know I've been in Pentonville plenty
It's
times.
just the waiting around.
Yeah.
You know, like from the fucking wait, like it's just a whole waiting game that's just like the longest waiting. Like I can sit there and wait for someone to bring me weed or someone to bring my delivery. That's calm. But just waiting to know that you're going to a cell is like, yeah, you know, like, and then you're stopping at every hurdle. So you're stopping at the fucking court, and then you're getting in the van, and then you're stopping, and then you're getting to the station. You're in a holding cell, and then you're getting searched.
Yeah,
and then you know, like it's just fucking constant, like just waiting, bruv. And then when you finally get your sentence, you're waiting until it ends. You know,
Yeah.
so like, but like, yeah, I mean, like my first night was just, it was just a bit mad. Like it was like a sigh of relief, obviously, but I was just feeling 101 different emotions. You know, like scared, worried, happy, almost. You know, that like finally, like, man didn't have to do that no more. You know, like.
Did you you see your pops and that? Did he know that you was involved in what you was doing?
It escalated very quickly. I remember like 2 years previous to getting caught, maybe like, I don't know, like 2.5 years previous, he found like a gram of coke on the floor, you know, in a wrap, and went mad. And I was just like, oh, you know, my mates do drugs, and then one of them probably left it, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then it fast forward 2 years, like he picks up a bag that has like 4 boxes and 3 guns in it, and he's just like, what's this? And I'm like, it's just what I do now. Because at this point, I'm just zannied out of my face, just like, yeah, that's just what I do now, mate. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, I'm about, you know, I sell drugs. It's just, this is what it's got to, like. And he's like, but he's just looking at me like, he can't even be angry because I'm just so like,
nonchalant about
yeah, like, and what?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, like, he said, what? He said these words. He said to me, I've seen stuff like that in films, and it never ends well, boy. And I was just like, whatever. Yeah, no, he was right. It didn't. Yeah. I wasn't listening to no one. You know, not even my dad. You know, like, there was no listening to any. Like, that's why, like, when I say things to people, I'm like, I'm not trying to preach, but there will be a time when you're gonna probably think the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So, but who am I to say? You can learn it yourself.
Did you feel like, as soon as you landed up there, and obviously they got you banned to rights, yeah?
Yeah.
Did you feel like disappointed that you've let certain people down in your family? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. Like, I mean, but you know what? At the same time, I feel like I was disappointing them every day by just waking up and being a waste man. You know, like by not being a waste man for shotting, but you know, like I was fucking waking up to like 2 Xanax bars. You know, like these things are meant to put you to sleep, bruv. Like, what are you doing waking up
taking
eating
them
2 Xanax bars, bruv? Like, and then it's just making me a muggy prick because I'm like, you know, like my dad asked me to do something, I'm like, whatever, like, what? It ain't that deep, dad. You know, like just being a complete prick. And like, I think, to be honest, it was probably a sigh of relief for him as well, you know, because I honestly feel like I was doing so much, because I had so many drugs around me. Like, I'm talking opiate-based medication, Xanax, you know, like I was just, you know, like just on one. Like, and it's not even a joke. Like, I'm not even, like, that's another thing that I would like to address. It's like, no way ever did I ever think that man would be using these sorts of drugs to like combat any sort of anxiety or anything like that, but it fully got there because of shotting food, you know, like, and I haven't had it bad, you know, like that, and but fuck me, bruv, like that lifestyle, maybe some people are just built for it, but man wasn't built for it, bruv, and I had to seriously self-medicate just to get through the day, you know, like that, and like going jail was probably like the best thing that could ever have happened to me. Yeah. Like, even though it's a ridiculous thing to say, but...
Nah, a few people do say that, like...
If you look at my gram before and after, bruv, I was just posting up dumb things that I was sniffing that day. Yeah, you know, like real talk, like dumb stuff. Yeah. Like, to the point where it's just like... And now, like, man gets nice, wholesome photos with me and my girl on holiday and stuff. Yeah. You know, like... But, you know, like, so it's just like... I don't know, like, I've grown a lot, and, like, that 4 years, I'm pretty sure I was so stubborn and, like, off my face, like, I'm not sure there would have been a chance for change. Yeah. You know, like that? Yeah, like, it, like, maybe, like, someone picking me up and taking me to a rehab centre or something, you know, like, but short from that, like, I weren't trying to listen to no one talk shit. You know, like that, like, brother, shut up. Like, you don't live my life. Like, so, yeah, to me, it was the best thing that could happen, and, like, it's changed my life for so much better. Like, I'm not saying that people need to go, but if you can maybe like see that your things aren't going right, because I saw it. I foresee the jail thing. Like, you know, like almost to the point where I was like doing all these drugs just purely because it was like I know I'm going jail soon. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, I'm just moving too loose.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been shot in food for 17 years and I've never been like, whether it be they find 2 boxes on me in a cab or they find 10 pills on me at the club, like something's gonna give soon. You know, like it's like that. It's like them crate things, brother. You know, you get too high end, brother. You're coming down. I don't care. You know, like
the crate challenge.
The crate challenge, cause like I don't care how much balance you got. You get up to a certain amount, and you're coming down, cause like there's no other way but crashing down. You know, like that. And I felt it in myself, and I think I probably almost projected the jail thing on myself, cause I've got everything I've ever wanted in life, and it's from I don't know, manifestation or whatever. But like I feel like there's not nothing that I've. And I know that at one point I would have been sitting there like, the only thing that's going to fix me is going jail. Because it's either, you know when people say about dying or going jail, like, they're the 2 options. Like, that honestly was
the 2 options.
The 2 options for me.
I never used to believe that either. Like, when I was a kid, people said, "But there's 2 options when you go down that road. You either go in jail or you're going to be dead."
And they don't even, maybe they don't even necessarily mean dead physically, but up here, brother, I was dead, cuz. You know, like that. You know, like that. I was up here because I weren't myself, bro. And I punished myself every day because I didn't get to do what I was really wanted to do. I was out there shotting bricks of and like I had all the money and all of this, but man weren't even buying clothes like that. You know, like man was on this skating where like man would wear a t-shirt that man got given to rep. You know, like I wasn't going spending money on things like that. I did like it just. If anything, it was just like. Oh, look, we're all going out. I'll pay for it. You know, like, or what, you know, like man had all money and stuff, and then before you know it, they just end up taking it anyway. So it's just like
they take it.
Yeah, this is so like what I don't know. For me, it didn't work, and yeah.
So like, bam. So you're in Pentonville. Pentonville is kind of an active jail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, like, you must have seen a lot of things.
Bare stuff from everything that you can imagine. Apart from the raping thing, that shit don't go on. That's a myth, bruv. Anyone, you can't even come out the shower, dick swing without the man getting onto you. You know, like that, like, brother. So this thing, like, but yeah, it was kind of active, like, you know, just like, man, I get slight, like, I see one man's back get like, you know, like just open up like a flap, cuz, you know, like, man just give him the diagonal from the back while he was running away and like, woo!
And it's so quick and easy.
Oh, mate, like, just all of that stuff, you know, like, couple man, like you see a few man just walking on the wing with just shit over their head. And you're like, well, what do they do? And before you even get a chance to like really deep what they're doing, it's going off, and you're like, oh shit, like it is an active jail. I think that's pure. It's purely because it's a remand jail, isn't it? Like some man might be sitting there thinking like, wow, I could bust this case in 2 weeks, so they're not really caring. I'm guessing that's the reason, innit? Yeah. Because in your sea cats and that, I just felt. In Pentonville, my cousin was on D-Wing, so when I landed, I felt like man didn't really get tested so much. You know, like man didn't really like get onto me like about what I've done, who I know, where I'm from. You know, like it was kind of like, oh, that's K's, cuz man was like I was in there already. You know, like so it weren't. I didn't really feel too much pressure in Pentonville, which was all right. Because even when I first landed, I remember some guy just getting onto me for like. But he's come to the cell door. He's like, give me a burn. I'm like, I ain't got burn. And he's like, well, what's that on the side of the big pack of burn? And like, straight away, I'm like, oh, shit. Like, and then this guy I'm selling up with, like, I've only been in jail like 1 day. He's like, don't give no burn to no one, cuz. Yeah. So I'm there at the door trying to be like, so what if there's a pack there? You know, you know, like, but so what? But that ain't mine. It's my brethren's who's asleep. Yeah. He's like, I know him. He would give me a burn. Yeah. So I'm like... My man wants a burn. He said, yeah, give him one. I'm like, oh, you didn't.
I wasn't supposed to.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to front it with this guy because you said you got me. You know, so don't give burn to no one. That's for us. Like, come through with a smoker's pack and that. It's like, it's a Thursday, can't eat, or like, it's a Tuesday, can't eat till Friday. Like, this guy's looking at me like, yeah, he's got the pattern. Don't give no one no burn. You know? I was like, oh, shit. Oh, what I can to this guy, yeah? He's like, yeah, pattern him. He always patterns me burn. I was like, you need to give me a list of like who I can and can't give burn to, my brother, because I'm sticking it on guys and I'm gonna just get hurt, like you know. Yeah. But yeah, I was lucky really because I went straight to D-Wing after like spending a couple of days on A-Wing, where they don't even really get social on that A-Wing. I swear down, you get like come out like maybe 4 times a week or something. I don't know, but
I don't know how it was when you was there. When I was there, it was just I think it was just normal. But all I know is on A-Wing like the cleaners used to be out until late. Like
Yeah. I was surgery in it, so I was out till like 7:30 every day. That was like a little bit.
yeah,
Like,
that was a bit.
you know, yeah, evening shower and that.
Yeah, evening shower, you get a bit
Pattern.
of freedom and that.
Yeah, it was nice, man.
Like the living conditions, how did you find that? I know there was plenty of roaches.
I'll be honest. Yeah, it was shit.
Silverfish.
But I'd never been jail, so I just like, you know, like I'm not trying to like complain about my conditions, even though it's a mazza.
Yeah.
Like it's a mazza there. Like what the fuck if you got these guys? Like, but because I've never been there, I just presumed it was gonna be the worst looking place ever. You know, this is what I've heard, and you know, like so it weren't too much of a. Obviously, naturally, you're just like, okay, this place is fucked. Like you know, like you look up and you see the fucking the netting and. You're just like, okay.
Victorian.
Yeah, you're like, okay.
They used to hang people in that wing as well.
Yeah, I know. So, at the bottom, it's fucked.
So it's like, yeah, it is a bit. For the first time coming, it is a bit mad. But what was your like in the 4 years that you spent in jail? In fact, before I get onto that, I want to know how did you get these extra days, bro?
Brewing hooch, fam.
Oh, brewing hooch.
And I'll be so real with you. See me, I'm such a people pleaser, yeah? Like, not even a beg friend or nothing. Like, man, just like to, if I'm going to give you something, it's going to be the best. You know, if I can make it the best, like, it's going to be the best of my ability. Like, so, bruv, they were just, mainly the people who brewed the hooch, like, ask my man, it was just spice heads, innit?
Yeah.
So it was like, these men are like, trying to like fund their addiction with brewing hooch.
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm not really doing that. I'm just doing it because literally, like...
Have a party.
Well, yeah, the party. And because it's like, it's our brother's birthday. And they're screaming, crooks, only you can make it back. Because all these spices are like, you know, you should leave it down for 5 days to brew and da-da-da-da. Whereas man's not going to leave it down 5 days if he's not smoking on the third day. You understand? He's going to pull that out on the third day. So on the fourth day, he's smoking.
Yeah,
you know, like that. Like, don't matter about the quality.
You're actually leaving it down.
I'm leaving it down because I want man to go... You know, like, oh, shit. You know, like, that's what I want. And it's not even about the money or anything.
Are you distilling it as well?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I want, You know, like, no water in it. I weren't playing no games, you know, like this. Like, so, it just... I was just getting bagged with dumb, like obviously a couple phones. And you see my thing, I kind of found it funny that, like, I'm in a place with all these people who, like, are in and out of jail all the time, but you're going to let 26-year-old Smithy boy from Hemel Hempstead, like, keep you on your toes because you got a phone. Like, but I take my phone and just buy a new one. That was my... Like, I'm already in the position. Like, I get it because these men didn't move like me and they didn't get how many extra days. So, obviously, I was the dickhead. Do you know what I mean? But, in the sense, this guy can't keep me on my top. Like, I'm not going to be like... Like when the door busts or whatever, I'm gonna be like, well, you caught me. Like, fuck it. Like, you know, like I'm not. I don't know. It's just I don't know what it is. It's not because I feel like I'm a bad boy or anything. It's just this guy. You can't. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like I haven't got enough energy in me to like care about banking the thing every day. I'll just take the day. I'll be down there and the guy would be giving me like block time and I'll be like, no. Can you give me the days?
Yeah, you don't.
I'll take the days.
Yeah.
No, it's lockdown out there anyway. Man ain't trying to come out in January. Man want to come out for a summer party. You know, like all of this dumb stuff. And I think because as well, I already knew what I was coming out to. Like I had a job pattern with Palace. I had bare stuff. And like, you know, when you're talking to people, like my friends have got life sentences. And I ain't trying to, like, I know I sound dumb, but, like, man ain't trying to just leave them. You know, like, I mean, it sounds dumb, but like, if I got given 30 extra days, I didn't see it as like, oh, that's 30 days for my freedom or blah, blah, especially when it was, like, lockdown out there and all of that stuff. I was literally just like, 30 more days with Amanda. Like, you know, like, I know it's stupid. It's a very stupid way to look at it, but it was anything to kind of, like, I basically just wouldn't let them piss me off. Like, give me 30 days. I'm what? Like, I've got a date. Some people haven't got a date. You know, like that. So...
You got parole in that,
You know, like that. So they're living like that. So, I don't know. Like, give me the 30 days. Fuck it. Then they gave me... I had 49 days left. Yeah. They gave me 42 days back. Because I was meant to be out March 25th. Yeah. And then suddenly they're like, oh, yeah, here's 42 days back. I'm like, right, I was meant to be out in 6 weeks. Now I'm out in... 6 days.
6-7 days.
Yeah, like it was a mad thing. So everything happens for a reason. So even when things were going bad, like I already knew that I was in jail for a reason. Like, you know, like I said, I probably would have died or something. You know, I feel like slap me with the days, bro. It's for a reason. You know that like I mean, I don't know.
Did-
Stupid way to look at it, I guess. Cause
Did you find um did you find people you know, maybe because, you know, like you're not the typical gangster, do you know what I'm saying? Did you find people trying to take advantage? I probably already know the answer because, you know, the bullying is frowned upon in jail and stuff like this, you know what I'm saying?
but it still happens.
It's
You know,
still,
like,
yeah, it does
yeah.
happen, but
Certain man, yeah. Go on.
but certain man, like, did you find people trying to do that to you because you may have looked a certain way?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, I remember one guy came into my cell and was like, "You got any drink, bruv?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Well, what's this?" And pulled out like a litre of distill from under my bed. And I said, "That ain't for you, bro." And the funniest thing was, it was from my bedroom budget who, like, was on the wing and was fully about it.
Yeah,
You know, like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like, I dare you to take it. And he's like, "Yeah, what are you trying to say?" I'm like, "Nothing. Just go on."
Take
And he's
it,
like,
yeah.
so he's now took the drink because he's had a line of sniff or something and he needs drink. And I'm like, all right, cool. So Buds has now come to me at 5. I'm not even trying to snitch on him. He's like come to me like, "Well, can I get that drink now?" Because he's bang up. And he's like, and I'm like, "Do you want to know what's just happened?" Like, my man just
Taking it.
like just robbed me, cuz like,
Yeah.
and like, you know, like, and my man's like, "What?" And then obviously it's just
It's
peak
just-
for
yeah,
him,
it's
you know,
peak
like,
for him after
so it
that,
was
yeah.
almost like, you know, like, I could have maybe stopped him and fought him in the cell, but like, you know, like, I already knew what was coming, so I was like,
Yeah.
well, like, you're going to dare you to take,
Yeah.
and then my man just got his face broken, like, you know, like, so it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I don't know how we got onto that, but yeah, like, I'm just,
No, I don't know, but I think we're having a good
yeah,
conversation.
of course, man, come on, like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was just, it was kind of funny, like, just, yeah, people did used to try and take advantage all the time, just, not all the time, but, you know, like, when I was on the wing, Nashe, for like 3 years, yeah, like, it got to that point where I was a solid member of the man them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
people couldn't just come on the wing and take the, you know, like,
Take the piss.
even though I looked a certain way or whatever, like, any white boy, whatever,
Yeah.
like, people knew, innit, like, that, like, not that I'll do
No,
anything, but
if you got a good heart and you're a good
this is
guy,
it,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is it. Like, obviously, like, there were always going to be times where, you know, like, something don't go your way or what, you know, like, and there was tensions were heightened or risen or whatever, but all in all, I was good. Don't get me wrong, I got fucked up, punched up bare times. You know, like, I just can't shut up. Like, the man would be walking out and I'd be like, "Yeah, you pussy."
Yeah.
And then they'd just be like, my friend, would be like, "Why did you do that?" They were literally walking out the door and you decided to, like, scream pussy holes or something, like, just to have the last word. Like, but yeah, like, I mean, the bullying thing weren't too prevalent, but it, you know, people did try it. But yeah, I mean, but yeah, that's one thing that I kind of was surprised about in jail. You know, like, it wasn't.
I think a lot
People
of guys have morals.
Morals, yeah, that's it. Like, and you know, like, even when I see people getting punched up, it was kind of like, no one's trying to, like, break someone. You know, like, they're just, you know, like, punch in the face just so you know Wagwan, innit?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
or a couple of bangs in the face or whatever. No one's like, I guess because they must know people who have punched someone in the head and they've died from it or something. You know, like, of course, if you've been jailed 20 years or whatever, or even 10, you're going to have met someone who, so that's a reality for you. So, like, half the time, most of the fights were just, unless they were, like, gang related or someone's really trying to do someone over. Otherwise, if it's just some petty argument, most of the time, man, them are like, allow it, cuz, like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one guy pulled me in the cell because he was like, "Oh, I owed him canteen for some burn or something," and he's like, "Yeah, if you don't have my canteen, like, I'll punch you up." And I'm like, "Well, you might as well punch me up because I just told you that, like, I'm not gonna have it. So, like, fuck the talking. Let's go in the cell." And we've gone in the cell. I've punched him, and then he's like, "Fucking hell, Crooks, what you done that for, mate?"
No.
And I'm like. So now I'm the guy who owes you money and has now punched you up, and then you're walking around the wing like I'm a bully or something. I said, "Nah, you got it all twisted, bruv. Like, he offered me out, bruv. You know, like, what the fuck?"
Yeah, it gets like that sometimes.
Yeah, just like, it's just so funny how it, like, fully goes full circle sometimes, where you're like, how have I got this guy, like, telling everyone I'm a bully and, like, trying to use it against
Yeah,
me?
trying
I'm
to
like,
use it
what? I'm
against
like the least likely person. Like, oh no, this guy's mad. But
Yeah.
yeah, all sorts of fucking situations arose in jail. Obviously, when you're there 4 years, like, everything that you can, like, you know, just stupid arguments over stupid shit and just like, all of it. And
What would you say that you learned from prison that you probably didn't know before, like something that you was like, right, that happens. Do you know what I'm saying? What, like the outside probably don't know about the inside. Like.
I mean, it don't really. It's the only answer I've really got. It doesn't really answer the question, but, like, I feel like learning how to I don't know, like say no to like certain things like weed or you know like these things I didn't. Why would I? Why wouldn't I smoke weed?
Yeah.
You know, like, but you go to somewhere like jail and you're like, you see so many people and how they move. Like when I was out, when I was even with all my brethren and that, we all smoke weed, and we all smoke weed from like morning till fucking night. You know, like that. And then when you're around a certain group of other people and like these men are kind of looking at it like, yeah, man, I smoke weed, but like they're still looking at like you're still not a nitty, but you're still like you're still a cat, like regardless of the drug. Like if you're needing a certain something, yeah.
Yeah, if you need it.
If you need it, like, and you're literally like running around the wing like a fucking crackhead for it, it doesn't matter whether it's crack or whatever it is. You're a cat, cuz.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a like way like to all the random who smoke their weed or whatever. You're a cat, but I just mean like, don't be like, this ain't an illusion with like, oh, because it's crack or because it's cocaine, like. All of these things can have you moving mad, like whether it be alcohol, weed, whatever. And I think that was the first time where I fully was like, oh, I don't need to smoke weed all the time, because I've gone 6 weeks now and there've been no weed, and I don't feel any different. You know, like so it was that for me because I had so many drugs around me, and but it was almost like, why wouldn't I do? Like if someone offered me a line of cocaine, why wouldn't I do a line of coke? Like. I mean, it's not going to be detrimental to me. It's not even my gear.
Yeah.
But just to be like someone be like, oh, do you want some weed, crooks? Like I got you. Like, nah, I'm actually all right. I'm not smoking today, or you know, like, and that for me was like the biggest thing to be able to like say, nah, I'm all right instead of yeah, why not? You know, like that. And that was like, and just to see other people move like that and how they controlled their habits or when things wasn't around, that was really interesting to me. Just because. I'd come from a place where I was fucking, like I said, waking up to 2 Xanax bars and weed all day long and not even thinking that weed was really even a thing.
Yeah.
Whereas really, like, man, I spend money on it and man, I smoke it all day. And when I don't have it, I kind of feel like I need it. So, you know that? So, I mean, how is that any different to, like... Anything else. But it's kind of normalised that that's okay. Like, oh, it's just weed. And like, yeah, it is just weed. It's not crack. But if I'm spending all my money on it and man's like... You know, like waiting 3 hours for some geezer to bring it to me. You know, it's like nothing against the weed smokers. I still smoke weed. You know that, but it's just like I just feel like it's just I learned a lot in that situation where like once that door shuts, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
Like you know, like you're not. It doesn't matter how much you want it or this, that, and the other. You're not getting it, and that was the biggest thing for me because I just that sense of just like why not? Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
Like you know, I just never ever really. Felt I needed to live that or like if you know not do something, and it was just quite nice learning that like that them things aren't the be all and end all of everything. You know, like drugs have been so relevant in your life, and they don't have to be. Like they really don't, and that whether it be taking because I think people get confused that like selling drugs is just as addictive as taking them, fam. You know, like I come out of jail, I got a job and everything, and like I said, even still I was kind of sitting there like the man, like I see an opportunity in everything.
No, 100%. Like, and it's likewise, bro. Like, I come out. When did I come out? Like, 11 months ago. I came out September 22nd of last year, and obviously I'll be doing this and I'll be doing like other things, and you know, trying to just stay out of jail really. But straight away, you got man them like, I'll drop this on you. I'll give you this.
It's the only way man them know how to help, innit?
Like, yeah, that's how they know.
That's
how to help.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Exactly, and they were like, and then obviously I'm just turning everything down. I'm like, that's not me no more.
Of course, yeah, come on.
Because I wanna move straight now. But it's like it's true. Like you do have when you're trying to do something right. I'll just call it the devil, bro. Like when you're trying to do something right,
literally, bro,
it's gonna tempt you. Do you know what I mean? Like, here's an opportunity. Do you want to take it?
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Do you want to get recalled? Do you know what I mean?
It's real. Because you know what it is? Even like, I was quite lucky because like I've been doing the skateboard thing for a little while, and basically the whole skateboard scene had my back. They knew I was in jail. They had my back. It was quite a very small scene when I went in jail. You know, it wasn't like an Olympic sport at this point. You know, like
it's an Olympic sport now.
It is now, yeah.
Oh, shit,
yeah. It's like all the girls are killing it, and that young 13-year-old girl's doing mad stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it wasn't a thing like that. So yeah.
So, bro, when you came out of prison, you know, because it seems like you actually went there and you've had the whole. I'm assuming you didn't get no decat because of all the
No,
extra days.
yeah, no.
So I'm assuming you had the full experience of jail, like when you came out of prison, like before you came out of prison, how did that feel? How did that feel? I would say maybe the last week coming out, and then the actual day that you came out. Like, can you talk us through that?
Yeah, it was kind of mad actually because I had like, it was like January or February, no, early February, and I felt like I had like 6 weeks left. And
Oh, 6 weeks go takes so long. I don't know if it did for you.
Well,
but
this is the funny thing. I had 6 weeks left, and then I had 49 days, and then they slapped me with like 52. They gave me 42 days back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I had so many extra days, and where I've asked them, like I said in the letter, I was like, I've been good for 6 months. I'm asking for merely 15% of my days back, and that would have taken me up.
They can give you up to half of your.
This is it.
50% of your days.
So I was like, well, like, I'm not even trying to ask for 50, because 50 would take me 2 months ago. Like, you'd take me back 2 months. Like, you can't give me time back. I'll just give me a young 10%. And then they gave me 42 days back. So it went from me having like 6 weeks to like literally being like, oh shit, I'm home Thursday. I wasn't even there for like another canteen. Like, I had guys who owed me canteen, cuz, and I'm having to be like, oh,
pass the debt on or something.
yeah, I just said, fuck it, I'm going home in 6 days, because you think I care about your £8? You know, like, free mackerel.
But in there, you need that.
Obviously, yeah. Like, don't get twisted. If I went home Friday, man, I come for you. But, like, no, but, you know, like, it's like, yeah, it was just like, oh, shit, like, I'm not even here for, and that's when it really hit, you know, like, I'm literally not even going to get another canteen.
Yeah.
Like, my sheets they haven't even given me a sheet this week because they know I'm going for it. Yeah. Like, that's when you're really, and then they're ringing you up at the cell phone saying, yo, Mr. Crook, you're home on Thursday, where we just got to go through things. And then you're really like, oh, shit.
Resettlement and that, yeah.
All of this. So, like, I'm telling my dad, I'm like, what you doing Thursday? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, well, you're coming to pick me up, guys. And he's like, you know, like, so it was just, it was weird because everyone says that your last bit goes real slow. Yeah. And, like, it does, but then they slapped me, they bust me.
Yeah, they bust
like
you. You got to get the speed
42 days or something. So it was like, I didn't do the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So it was like, it really was like, oh shit! Like, I felt like when it came into the new year, January, you're like feeling like, oh, okay, like I'm actually going home in 3 months, and 3 months goes fast in jail. You know, like you'll sit there and you'll be like, oh shit! Like it felt like January yesterday, and it's August now. You know, like it definitely does. Like,
because your mind patterns up to that. Like,
exactly, of course. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Like I feel like that's the hardest thing. Is like once you've like got over like the fear of missing out on what's going on outside, and that's when you can really just not enjoy your jail time, but you're set, you know, like that, like you said, your mind's patterned up and you're in the motions now. And then that just threw me off. I was like, oh shit, man's home in 6 days. And then so I can't even remember what I felt like it just, you know, like before I told people, it was like on the day, like, it's funny because usually I'm like very quite polite, and like if the gov asked me to do anything, man, I'd do it. Obviously, if it's nothing mad, like snitching or something, but you know, like they asked me to clean up. Man ain't doing them things there. But you know, like they asked me to mop a thing, or if I'm serving, like man will do it. Like man, polite. And then it got to like 8 o'clock in the morning, and like they're saying, "Oh, sorry, Mr. Crook, Oscar 1's not around to take you to the gate because someone's tried to throw a parcel." And I'm just like, right, who's doing a parcel on the down gate? Right, like I'm on to everyone. Like, right, you need to get me out. Rare. I've been nice this whole time. That, you know, like, why am I not going down to reception? You know, like, just lost my shit. And I was like, why am I losing my shit? Like, I'm hot. Like, you will be out the gate in like 3 hours, regardless of whether they take you now or like in an hour's time.
No, but I was the same, bro. Like, because when it's your day,
that's your
day.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me out as soon as the gates open.
Brother, I see a man leave yesterday. He was out at 8. Yeah. Why am I still here at 9:30 waiting for Oscar 1? Brother, just open the back gate. I'll tell my dad to swing it round. You know, like that. Come, let me out the back door. No, like, I don't know. But I just lost my shit a little bit. I was like, I want to get out. And then I got out. And the funny thing is that you get out the gate, and there was in a car park like way over there. I've got these see-through bags, yeah. I've stood next to a bin, put my things down. I'm like, are you looking for someone to like my people and that? They're like, nah, mate, we're all right. Because I've got these empty bags, you know, like see-through bags. They thought I was the bin man, cuz.
No way.
They thought I was the bin man. Asked my brethren. They said, oh, we thought you're the bin guy. I said, why? They said, because you had all these bags of stuff next to the bin. And like, you're waving at us. And they're like, no, listen, mate, we're waiting for someone.
Yeah.
I'm saying, brother, It's me, you know. They're like, oh shit, I got all long hair. You know, like, all that. Just everyone's like, oh, you're looking different, mate. You know, like, no one's seen me for a year or two.
Yeah,
you know,
because as well, because of COVID, there was no visits.
This is it. So there weren't no visits. I couldn't get my hair cut in jail.
Yeah.
It was just. It was
letting
really.
certain people out at a time.
Oh, it's really weird, cuz like it was like jail's a weird place, but that them times there, we were really doing jail. You know, like when people said like we really were 23-hour up in the cell. Like I was lucky because I was surgery.
Yeah.
But yeah, like people were really doing jail. You know, no gym, no social, not like really
No
just sitting there,
sitting there. Yeah.
Trust me,
I
bro.
remember.
Yeah.
So I was just gonna get onto like so you come out of jail. What are you doing now? And what, like, do you know what I mean? What are you doing now with yourself?
I work at the car wash. No, I'm joking. no. I film. My friend owns this brand, Palace, which some people know it, some people won't. It's kind of like it's a bit of a fashion brand now, but it started off as a core skateboarding brand, which at the time was probably not the greatest idea because like there's no money. Well, there was no money in skateboarding, but my man wanted to do something for the people. A couple of other brands went under, so we had like the opportunity to take good friends of ours and put them onto this brand, and it all just kind of fell into place to the point where like it's now just a massive streetwear brand, and like to be honest, people don't even know the skateboard side to it, but they're into it, and the guys who do know the skateboard side to it, it legitimizes the company because they're like, oh, it is actually a core skate brand, you know, like that. But it's like they've got like a shop in Soho. Like, if you know Palace, you know they're doing well. If you don't know, get to know. They're my boys, and they really be doing some good shit. Like they just done some collabs with Machino, Ralph Lauren collab. Like Ralph Lauren's never done a collaboration with anyone ever. So for them to be like, all right, we'll do it. You know, like that, it means something. You know, like so. Yeah, they gave me a job because I film skateboarding. Like that's what I do. That's what I've done all my life, and I skate myself, and it kind of gives me an edge over other filmers and that because I really can just ride down the road holding a camera.
Yeah.
And it's not that I can do anything. I mean, it's not that what I do is any better than other people, but it's like you can't just get someone. Like if you said to someone who doesn't ride a skateboard, right, we need to get a shot from here to here, they're gonna look at you like. How you know that, and that's only because you know like that like it's because I'm comfortable on the skateboard that I can do it, you know, like I'm not saying people can't learn, but it just gives me an advantage, you know, like that. So when it comes to my guy doing trick here, trick there, trick there, trick there, trick there, man can follow him and it's not too like it don't look like man's having an epileptic fit or something. Like it looks like it's smooth and that. But where I've been doing it so many years, I feel like it's not really that much of a skill. But obviously,
but you enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. Like you know what it is? It's more the vibes. Like you start like if people start talking to me about like camera settings and stuff, like I know how to set the camera up to look sick. Other than like newest cameras that have come out and this and that. Like I don't really. I'll be lying if I said I know. I'm just purely there because my brethrens are doing some sick shit, and like I want to capture that and be the guy who's got the footage of that. That's purely it. I'm a vibes guy. I love being there for the vibes. I'm watching like these skate tricks go down before anyone else has seen it. You know, like that, and like, and the fact that like people recognize my work, like we don't know who films EastEnders. No one gives a shit who films EastEnders, but for some reason people care that I film skateboarding. So large up.
Because I've seen you with like some celebrities and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think. It's just, you know, like the skateboard thing's got kind of cool now. And like, that walk, I'll be honest, it's like a middle class white boy thing, innit? So it's like, you know, it was back in the day. So it's like, there's like, you know, like Brooklyn Beckham, would go into the Palace store and buy his skateboard. You know, like, so there's links all around, but you don't even know, like, I don't even want to call anyone up, but you know, like, man's bridges a certain, like, you know, friends or their mum and dad do like a morning breakfast show and you know, like things like that, and it's like you wouldn't even know that that's their son, because he ain't trying to tell you that so and so is his mum and dad, or you know what I'm saying. But there's loads of little links like that I've just been drawn into, like, and especially with the shotting thing, people trusted me. It weren't just some random guy who come in to drop them drugs, and they didn't look at me like a drug dealer. They were like their brethren. They could come to my house and chill, and they weren't feeling like I was going to go and tell them like, oh, so-and-so just bought a load of coke off me. Like, you know, like, so yeah, I mean, I've got quite a few, like, they're just my friends, innit? But like, yeah, there's a few people who are like in the limelight. Like, big up, Big Nasty. He's my fucking brother.
Yeah, I
See
see
him,
you at
like,
Nasty
he's
today.
my fucking brother. Like, he's not just a friend that I know. Like, when I first started that Piff Sticks thing, he was on board, and he brought me in, like, took me on tour and shit. Like,
He said he got you that chain there.
he
innit?
got me this chain. Like, he's just, see him, he's just like, I could ring him any time in jail, whether it be for money or whether it be for whatever, like, just to chat. And he had time for me. And someone, like, this guy would, like, he'd go and check my dad.
Oh, good,
You know, like,
good man,
like
yeah. He's a real one.
like, he would ring my dad. He'd check, like, if he was driving past, man, I'd check for him, and that sort of stuff shows the difference between just someone who knows you and someone who you're brethren. You know, like, he's my guy, man, and like,
Yeah, shout
like,
out Nasty.
yeah, shout out him, man, because he really just, he, like, you know, when someone, they do way more than they need to.
Yeah.
You know, like, you
yeah.
don't need to do all of that. You know, like, you're busy, but you've got a TV show and stuff, like,
On Channel 4,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, real stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I remember this guy sitting in my house being like, "Bruv, do you think it's even worth me pursuing this thing, bruv?" I'm like, well, you know, like when you're doing Uncle Payne's and all of that,
Yeah.
like, sitting there genuinely like, like, fuck Morph, man, what's the fucking point, bruv?
Yeah.
Someone will give, bro. And
Yeah.
now look at, like, brother, I'm just so,
Yeah.
so gassed that, like,
I'm proud of him because I remember Nasty. I don't know him, but I remember him from Channel U days.
this is
and,
it. And,
you know
like,
what I'm
he
saying?
goes, his history's kind of deep, bruv.
Yeah.
And, like, it took him a long while. And I watched that struggle for a little while. Like, he was getting paid to do shows and this, that. I don't even know why I'm talking his business too much, but
Yeah.
he was getting paid to do shows and that. But it wasn't easy for my man. It wasn't just one day he woke up with a Channel 4 show. Like, he really was there with me in the rain.
Yeah.
And he says it all the time. He's like, bruv, you was in the rain, so you can kick it now it's sunny, cuz.
Yeah,
You know, like that. And I just love that. And I use it all the time because it's like, bruv, there were bare man who weren't in the rain.
Yeah.
And suddenly they want to kick it now it's sunny.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just not like that. You know,
Yeah.
like that. But, you know, you just stay true to yourself and the people around you and that. And good things will come, man.
Yeah,
You know, like that.
Yeah, of course. So, you're doing this thing for Palace. That's going well. You know, what I would want to ask you, this is what I ask everybody, but I would like to ask you now, like, what advice would you give to people that may be in your same situation, maybe not as a skateboarder, but maybe just as, you know, a civilian that's finding themselves in the wrong place, and maybe people that are doing social supply, that's just selling to their friends and thinking, well, I'm just selling to my brethren, it's all right. Like, what advice truly, like, it's not to preach, but what advice truly would you give?
I mean, it would just purely be like, I wouldn't even say put the drugs down and stop doing what you're doing. No. Just, if that's what you're doing, cool. But that won't happen. That won't last forever. Like, I don't know.
Straight,
Like, you know, like, so all I would say to people is, if there is something that you like, don't force it. But if there is something, whether it be drawing, skateboarding, fucking inline skate, whatever it is, like, even if it's your job or whatever, like, whatever it is, like, put your energy or your positive energy into something positive and you'll get positive results. That's what I believe anyway. Like, you might look at me and say I'm talking shit. That's what's worked for me.
Yeah.
Because the moment I started putting my positive energy into negative behaviour, all I got was negative energy back, you know?
In the Bible, it says if you what you reap is what you sow, obviously, and if you plant good seeds, you get good fruit, and if you plant bad seeds,
There we
obviously
go.
you get bad
I'm not
fruit.
even saying my thing on the back of that, but
Yeah.
it obviously means something, you know? Like I just can't stress enough that, like, I got drawn out into a situation where I wasn't a young youth. I wasn't like one of these county lines youths who people think that, like, it's going on or whatever, but I was 28 years old, bro. And an opportunity kind of presented itself, and I kind of went, all right. And it snowballed into a madness. And, like, that's only from me not even being gassed on doing it. So, like, you might think that you're going to be the best shot, and you know what? 1% of you might do it. But, bro, like, that positive energy into negative behavior has just never worked for me personally. And I've seen it where I'm doing positive things and the outcome's always what I wanted.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm doing negative things, the outcome's always random.
Yeah.
You know, like that. And I'm not trying to live a random
You
life.
don't know, yeah, you're right. And it's likewise, bro, like, because, you know, I'm exactly the same. I've put all my life into it, like, negative shit. And, you know, I've started doing this. I don't know if he's watching it from when I was in jail, but I started doing this from jail. And now, even though I'm making less money,
You feel richer.
I feel spiritually, mentally,
Everything.
I feel better in
Money
myself.
don't make you happy, bro.
No.
I'm not saying I've had but I've had money in it.
Yeah.
Like, man was getting probably like, say I was getting 50, but man was getting 500 on each box, and then 50 boxes were going like within a couple of weeks. You know, man had money in it, but never like I get like about 24 grand a year or something from Palace. You know, as a skateboard filmer.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like I don't want no more than like. I feel like if I do well and I deserve more, man, I get more.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Whereas licking 50 shots is not. It's gonna get me more, but long run, like, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like positive energy and like into positive behavior gets you where you want to be.
And I think a lot of the world is waking up to it as well because like even like a lot of these drill artists, some of them are still on the roads and that, but I think a lot of them has realised, you know, I'm gonna focus on music.
There's an avenue there.
Yeah, there's an avenue, and I'm focusing on music now. Some of them are still doing roads. Some of them are just talking about.
They might just be in the same position where no one's giving them money for the craft right now.
Yeah.
Same way no one was giving me money for my craft as a skateboard filmer. No, there weren't money in it. But what they got to remember is that all that hard work will pay off if you're good. Like if you put in the same amount of work, like as you did, or you not even work, but energy as you do into whatever it is, making money, repping your gang, whatever it is you're doing, like you got to put that energy into. Like, I'm not saying stop doing what you're doing. I'm not even trying to say that. Like, because you might be in a position where drugs are paying for your fucking rent right now. Like, so don't stop. Like, you know, like, bro, if that's what you have to do, like, but I'm saying,
you have to do, basically.
But like, you know, like, if there is something that you can pursue that is positive, please just pursue it with like all your heart. And bro, I can genuinely say like everyone I've seen do that, put all their all into it. Fucking pot of paper, but the man was in jet on my whip. Big up him, like, but things are working out for people that I know personally, and that's sorry I had to name drop, but you know, like, drop pots, but you know, like, there are people who are like him who are well known, and there's people who are just on the cusp of getting well known, and not even necessarily well known as in like world famous, but just like good in what they do, in their industry or their thing in their field, they're at the top of their game, and it's all because they put the things down and they focused, you know, like that, and maybe if you focus. Fuck, who knows what you can get? You know what I'm saying? Because you can get 10 boxes and you can get 200 bags for it. Yeah, you can get it, but it can get taken away just as easily. Whereas you're doing this legit thing, no one can come tell me that, give me your camera. No, and then now you got to pay me for the camera that you bought with the alleged. Like, no, that's my, like, you can't come take my watch, you can't take my ring, you can't do nothing, bro, because it's mine that I bought with good money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
you've got the good energy behind.
Exactly.
100%.
That's just my thing, and I just hope that people look at it and maybe think, oh, you know what, maybe I'll start taking steps towards trying to live that life. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying stop, because who am I to... I don't know your situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't tell everyone to this, that, and the other, but all I can say is that, like, if there is something that you are good at, or, like, you feel like you have a spark for, or a passion for, like, pursue it.
100%.
Because, brother, you could be the best, you could end up being the best at it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I didn't expect to be a skateboard film. You know, like, I just filmed my bedroom doing skateboard stunts. You know, like, now, bruv, like Palace is probably one of the biggest, it is the biggest skateboard brand in fucking England. Like, no one else can pay someone to film for that. You know, like, you just don't sell enough skateboards for that. I worked it out in jail. You have to sell like 4,000 boards a month just to pay like one person's salary. And like, no one's doing that. Whereas because they've got the clothing and doing big collabs, big stores in all the big cities, the LA, Tokyo, and that, they're really doing it and they can really pay me. So, and
I've seen it as well. I didn't, to be honest, when you told me, I looked at it, I didn't know what Palace was. Obviously, I'm not a skateboarder.
Yeah, this is it. Like,
but when I did look at it, I was like, wow, like that's actually a really good.
Yeah, they've done their thing.
They've done their thing,
Yeah,
and shout out Palace, man.
Come on, like, just like, I know it sounds probably stupid, but I'm proud of them, man. Like, you know, like, brother, like, we were there at South Bank, like, with no money selling skateboards to people to buy weed. You know, like, like you go down South Bank with a board that I've bought off fucking someone who sponsored, so my man could sell it. You know, like for like 15 quid extra, and like, man are up now.
Yeah.
You know, like now my same guy who was doing that, Lev, large up your thing, he's now made a brand that's fucking global.
Yeah.
Like, not even, brother, this is Reebok fucking Palace collab trainers, bruv. Like,
I just realised, you know, that is Palace and Reebok, innit?
Yeah, so they're doing it, bruv. This ain't like, oh, my friend does a t-shirt company.
Yeah.
Like, brother, these guys got Bupa healthcare, pension,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Hey Morph, man, you've been a great guest, man. Thank you for coming down.
Oh, thank you for
Bruv,
having me.
I love
bro.
your energy, man. You know.
I could have talked for hours. You know,
No,
like that.
I know, but I love that, man. I love a guest that can talk and and tell their story, and your story is verified. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that, man.
And obviously, I wish the best for you.
Likewise, bro.
Everyone, go check out Palace. I'll put your details in the description and everything like this.
Appreciate it, man.
And yeah, thank you for coming down, bro.
My
Man.
brother, love. Thank you so much for having me.
Love, my bro.